Welcome, my name is Bjorn Barent, and this is the Google Weekly Podcast, which is part of the AskBG.net network of training services. Never stop learning. This is Episode 1, Google Plus Goes to Apps. Hello everybody, my name is Bjorn Barent, and before I go into the show, I want to talk a little bit about myself. I am an IT coordinator at a school in Vermont. I am a Google certified trainer, and I'm currently finishing up my master's degree in curriculum instruction. If you haven't noticed, AskBG.net has been a website that I started when I was in college, and I have grown that into a small side business which offers online training through webinars. And I am adding the Google Weekly podcast, which you can listen on at www.google-weekly.net. Without further ado, let's get into the show. This week, we're going to talk about Google Plus, and what a better time now that Google has announced that it is available to Google Apps customers. The difference between the regular Google and the Google Apps is the regular Google is anybody who has an @gmail.com email address, where Google Apps is anybody who is using the Google products but using their own domain names. So this includes people like me with a website like AskBG.net. It includes schools and also businesses who are using the Google products. So this is great that it is coming to Google Plus, coming to Google Apps customers. So what is Google Plus? Well, Google Plus is a social networking platform. Think like Facebook alternative. It allows you to post pictures, post updates, and keep in contact with other people. It is a great way for personal learning networks, so keeping in touch with other educators and other people in the field, finding out what is going on. The difference between Facebook and Google Plus, and this is one of the reasons why Google Plus has really taken off very, very quickly, is that it uses something called circles. Circles are essentially groups. They're people that you want to post to. And so I have circles for my friends. I have circles for teachers. I have circles for other IT people. And there's some people who exist in multiple circles. And when I make a post, I choose which circles which circles people can see. So if I'm making a very educational post, I found an article that would be great for teachers, I will just click the teachers. If I am making a very personal post, like saying, hey, I'm going to have Thanksgiving at my aunt's, I will post that just to my friends and family. And so Google Plus allows you to really control who is seeing what information you're putting out. And this is really what makes Google shine, is that they are actually conscious about helping you decide what information goes out. But they also make it very easy for you to share that information. So that's how Google Plus and Google is really bringing things together. Now, here's a couple things about Google Plus. I use it, and it's associated with my Android phone. And what happens is any photograph I take automatically gets uploaded to Google Plus into a private album. What this means, I have a backup of every single photo on my phone, and it's an automatic backup, which is nice, and it goes out to the web. But it's private just to me. It's not shared with any circles yet. And then when I go in, I can choose, okay, here's this group of photos. I want to actually just share it with this circle. I want to share it with this circle. So it really is a nice, quick way to bring your photos from your phone. It uses your Google profile, which is a public profile. So you will need to set that up if you use Google Apps. And one of the newest things is something called Hangouts. And this is, again, a brand new concept. The closest thing I can think of is similar to Skype, in that you can bring people together and you can see each other through the webcams and you can collaborate. The Hangouts are, you can have more than one video feed going on at once, so that is a very nice feature. And slightly different, it's not like you're calling somebody to hang out. you kind of schedule a time that you're going to set up a Hangout, and hopefully in the future, I will have Google Weekly Hangouts. And hopefully those conversations will bring into more conversations that we can bring on the show here. But the Hangout is you put it out there and say, okay, at 3 o'clock, I'm going to set up a Hangout. And at 3 o'clock, people from your circles that you shared it with will all jump on and click your link and hang out around a certain conversation. Like I said, we're hopefully going to set one up for Google Weekly. Now, Google has been very cautious, I think is the best way to say it, about how they're rolling this out. And they were very reluctant, actually, to bring it to Google Plus people, mostly because of their very large K-12 audience that they have. They have some businesses, they have some universities, but in Vermont, I think there's a good share of the schools have rolled out to Google Apps. And I know a lot of schools were really hoping to use this. But the public nature, the fact that Google Plus is designed to share information, and many schools have tried Facebook and have gotten into a little bit of trouble around this. So they were very reluctant to send it out to the Google Apps, especially Google Apps for Education customers. So what they've done is they put an age restriction of 18 years of age. Anybody who has a standard account, again, like my AskVG.net account, they will see it automatically. Any university, so I guess the .edu crowd will also get to see Google Plus. But if you're a Google Apps for Education, so if you're in K-12, you won't automatically see it. And you can request it, so maybe you want to use this with your teachers, and I probably will be doing this for the school I work for. And what you'll have to do is you actually have to put a support request in. Your Google Apps administrator will have to put a support request in to get it to show up as an option that they can then turn on and off. It doesn't mean that it's turned on for everybody. Your administrator can block it from certain organizational groups. So you can turn it on for teachers, but keep it off for students until everybody kind of learns how it can best be used in the classroom. Which brings me to my next thing. How can Google Plus be used in the classroom? Google Plus is new. I've heard of several people using Facebook and actually successfully using Facebook in the classroom. The problems that arose were outside of the teacher's control in the social aspect of it and became a liability. So there was a lot of people who were reluctant to use it. While there is a reluctance to use it because of a liability, there are so many positive ways that I've seen teachers saying, it can be used this way, it can be used this way. So there's this balance of this great tool for education and this big liability. So there's a lot of people that are hoping that Google Plus, with its circles and their cautious attitude, that they can actually build a platform that can be used in schools safely. We're going to have to see what becomes of it, but that also means I'm going to put a call out to you educators. How do you see Google Plus being used in the classroom? This podcast will be posted. I'm still working on the whole how we are going to communicate, but I do know that you will be able to comment on this podcast, and I encourage you. Please comment. Let me know how you think Google Plus can be used in the classroom. And this is going to conclude the What's New in Google section of the podcast. And I'm going to start up the What's Old in Google. I think that is probably the best way to approach it. Google has been around for a few years, and they have had a lot of great features, and there's a lot of people out there using them. And maybe I can talk about some of the features that they didn't know existed. So what's old in Google? Since this is the first episode, I wanted to talk about its core suite versus its other services and versus third-party applications that all work together. Its core suite. This is the suite that I guess the best way to define it is by their acceptable use policy. in terms of Google Apps, this suite can be used in education. It can be used with younger students. And their core suite consists of their Gmail, their Google Docs, their calendar, and Google Sites, which is their equivalent of the wiki. Within Google Docs, it allows for word processing, spreadsheet, presentation, draw program, which is like flow charting, digital forms, think SurveyMonkey type of forms that they allow you to do as part of their core suite, and collections, which is pretty much an advanced way of saying folders. Well, this core suite is the equivalent of Microsoft Office. I mean, it's the suite of applications that Google expects you to use to collaborate with. They make it an acceptable use policy that is available for schools that allows for younger kids, having the teacher and the school being the responsible party. Now, in addition to the core suite, they offer quite a few other services. Services like YouTube, Blogger, Reader, Google Books, and now Google Plus is part of that extended suite of services. Now, the main differences between the core suite and the extended services is that the extended services have a different acceptable use policy. This is, I think we talked about the Google Plus, where nobody under the age of 18 can use it. And YouTube has a similar, I think 12 is the age group where nobody can create a account according to the government on a social platform that is under the age of 12. So these extended services from Google are ones that have that restriction. So when you add them, make sure you read the acceptable use policy and that you can be using them with a proper age group. The way I look at it is these extended services allow for public posting where at least the core suite, the administrator has the ability to block public posting. So it goes back to control. The core suite, the administrator can block public posting. The extended suite is up to the end user. So for a safety issue, they separate out them. What that does mean, but what it means is any of those extended families, though, has a single sign-on login. So if they are enabled for a Google Apps customer, a person or student or teacher who logs in can click on YouTube and they log straight in. They don't have to create a new account. It all works off the same account. The next thing that it adds is third-party applications. These third-party applications can be added by your administrator. They are really some great ones out there. I think Avaria is one of the more popular ones where that's a whole design suite for graphic editing and things like that. And again, those show up as if they are part of the core suite. When a student logs in, they can click the more and they'll see those show up. The extended family, you click more and then there's a button that says even more. It'll show you the full listing of the extended family, and it'll show you under the more the third-party applications that have been enabled. But but even more so than the Google extended family, the third-party applications have their own acceptable use policy. The third-party applications are sometimes free, sometimes not free. So please keep that in mind when you're using them. Which ones you want to add and what their acceptable use policy is. There's a great set of tools, and I'm going to be covering a little bit of it more throughout the show. And on to the last section, the app of the week and the Chrome app of the week. The app of the week these are not necessarily ones that I use, but I'm going to go to the apps marketplace and pick one out and read the reviews and kind of talk about it, maybe get some ideas churning. First of all, this is the Marketplace app of the week. This means this is an third-party application that needs to be added by your administrator. Some of these tools have their own website, so if your administrator doesn't add them, you can probably go straight to the application and create your own. But it has a single sign-on with Google Apps. And this week, I want to talk about nGrade. nGrade is a gradebook and learning management system. It is free, and I'm looking at the reviews here. I mean, this has some really, really great reviews. I mean, everybody who has posted on this there's 20 reviews in this on the Google Apps Marketplace, and everyone is 5-star. It is a gradebook that can be used by schools, by teachers. Looks like it adds some attendance tracking and a lesson builder and much, much more. And it looks like the best part about this is free. Great, check it out. I'm hoping to hear your feedback. Again, this is something that if you're using nGrade, go ahead and post a comment on this blog and tell me about it. Let me know if your opinion matches these 5-star ratings that it has gotten on the Google Apps Marketplace. Now, the next app of the week that I want to talk about is from the Chrome website. If you have Google Chrome, which is the alternative to Internet Explorer or alternative to Firefox that Google has been trying, what it has is it has its own web store. And when you hit the plus, you hit the Google Web Store, and essentially there's a lot of links and a lot of little add-ons that you can add to your Google Chrome account. And the one I want to talk about is NAK SH Art, Naksh Art. I can't pronounce it. You'll probably find that I'm probably not the best at pronouncing these things, but this looks really, really cool. It has a 4 out of 5-star rating with 68 reviews. It's from the education part of it. And what it is a star map, HTML5 star map that you can click on and view. And this looks really fun. And it's part of the educational apps. It looks like one that you can use with your students very easily. So check it out. NAKSH Art. And that is on the Google Chrome Store. And again, the Google Chrome Store is something that you as a user can add and check it out. Well, this concludes this week's episode 1 of Google Weekly Podcast. My name is Bjorn Berendt. You can follow the podcast by going to the website, www.google-weekly.net. And this, again, is part of the AskBJ.net network of training resources. Well, thank you, and have a great week.